All right, this first section is all about the ceremony. Do you need an additional ceremony sound system to take care of your needs? And by that, what I mean is oftentimes you may need a separate sound system because it's in an alternate location based on where your reception would be. Okay, and with that said, we would have to set up additional speakers. We would have to understand the microphone situation. Do you need a microphone? Is it close range where maybe you don't need that? But ideally speaking, most of the time you probably want it just so everyone can hear your vowels if you choose to do that, and any other things that may go on during the ceremony. And of course, we would provide one for whoever's giving the ceremony. Okay, we'll give them a lavalier mic in most situations, but sometimes we can also provide a handheld mic. Not a problem in either scenario. But what we do is we'll link up with those individual vendors, such as your wedding photographer, videographer. If you have a wedding planner, we'll link up with them as well. And we'll make sure that everybody is in the appropriate places at the time required. Okay, so ultimately we are your guide, or I will be your guide for that evening. And so I'm not just playing music. That's not my role. My role is to ensure that everything goes smoothly for you, and that's what I intend on doing, and that's what I do for all of my events. Okay, and so some things to think about as if you're needing us for your ceremony is, where's the event going to be held? Is it going to be indoors or outdoors? Is it going to be at the same location as your reception, or is it going to be at a different place? And so, what time are your guests going to arrive? Oftentimes, what happens is DJs get hired to start at the time of the ceremony. Well, you have to think beyond that a little bit, because you don't want your DJ or any entertainment setting up as your guests are arriving, first off. Second off, you don't want them starting the event as you're ready to walk down the aisle, right? So you want to prepare for that ahead of time. You say, okay, do I need music before as guests are coming in? Because we'll probably do that, and in most cases, that would typically start 15 to 30 minutes prior to the actual ceremony. So I would certainly calculate that into your time frames. And then what time are guests actually arriving? So again, making sure that your entertainment is set up and ready to go before guests get there, because it's kind of a big deal. You don't want people coming in while equipment is being moved around and all that kind of stuff. It just makes it cumbersome for everybody. Okay, and then of course, what time will the bride and groom be arriving? We can certainly link up with the wedding planner for all this information as well. I know sometimes things move around on that day, and so we will actually go to them and verify all the details that we may need for getting everybody in line to ensure everybody's going to walk in at the same time. Before I start the ceremony music, is everybody in the appropriate lines that they need to be? And so we kind of gauge all that and make sure that everybody's taken care of. Okay. And then, if it's indoors and then at the same time, maybe in the same location as where your reception is going to be held at, will anybody be setting up decorations ahead of time? As we're bringing in equipment, oftentimes other people are wanting to get things set up, like table decorations or maybe cakes or whatever, what have you. And we just want to make sure that whenever we arrive, we try to arrive before all those different vendors. So again, we're not getting in anybody's way, and everything goes smooth even before the bride and groom arrive. That being you. And then, what time will everybody be leaving the ceremony? Or another way of putting that is, how long do you expect the ceremony to last? Some ceremonies I've seen last 10 minutes, and others I've seen last an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it ultimately is up to you, but we like to understand all that ahead of time. And like I said, if you are interested in that, in having us do your ceremony, you probably want to reach out to us, as we can provide you more information on a ceremony music planning guide. In addition to that, we can get a little bit more details on this. So if you do decide to go with us, let's certainly talk about that and get you taken care of. Okay? All right. With that said, we're going to move on to the next section. Thank you.